September. There is big schedule. We will do something in May, as I tell. We will start doing something in February after 2 weeks. One of the greatest card in boxing. And after that, we will go to London, Fatal Fury, the City of the Wolf in London, in the 26th in Tottenham Stadium, Eubank and Ben. Then we will go to America, to New York City, to do the fight, the card with Garcia, Haney, Bicoli. Then we will do Canelo card in the 3rd of May. And after that, we're discussing now to do something between July and August in our country. And after that, we will do the big fight in September in the stadium. We will try to be in the stadium of Las Vegas. Then in October, inshallah, Haney against Garcia, the rematch. And Tumalifu will be in this card. Then we will do February card also. This is all. Before it, we will do in December anyway. I start in the last 48 hours giving wrong information to everyone to make them go to another site. And when I know that big appointment between one big platform and the camp of the two fighters, and there is people starting to doing posters and choosing arena and choosing where is the conference will be. Then I finish the deal in 5 minutes. I call Canelo directly and I said to him, hello brother, you know this fight will damage the pictures and the idea about our plan. And honestly, I think you are, as a Canelo, too young to take this fight. You can have it after 30 years.
Right.
When he is 60. Then he said to me, brother, you know, from my inside, I don't want this fight ever. But I said to you, take the May fight. I don't have something in the table and I must fight before Crawford. And we discuss, and in 5 minutes, we closing the deal. And that's it.
Oh, Canelo, you puta.
In this fucking YouTuber, I just fight real fighters.
Time to expose them. So we had a signed contract to fight. Here you can see Canelo's signature and my signature to the right. Claiming he's not fighting YouTubers. Bullshit. Look at the poster. We were announcing Tuesday, February 11th. Claiming he fights real fighters, but he's fighting Crawford, a 135-pound fighter, and running from a real fighter like David Benavidez, you bitch. The truth is you can be bought. You're a money-hungry squirrel chasing your next nut. The truth is these sports-washing shady characters are paying you hundreds of millions of dollars to stop our fight from happening because they couldn't fathom the fact that they can't create a bigger fight than me and you. Al Heyman has made you hundreds of millions of dollars and you turned your back on him for this check. Disloyal. And you were begging to do this fight on pay-per-view. But I have loyalty. Loyalty to Netflix, doing the biggest numbers. And you call me a YouTuber, but you've never had a boxing match as big as mine. Remember you told my team that your daughter came home and asked if you were fighting Jake Paul? She was all excited. You said that was the first time your daughter's ever asked you about a fight. And you're screwing over all your Mexican fans by doing your fights in Saudi. It just shows what type of person you are. And I promise you one thing, Canelo. Any fight that you do this year, mine will be bigger. So go fuck off to your boss, you Ring Magazine employee, you pink and orange bitch. And oh, fix that herpes on your lip, you dirty puta.
Wow, Jake Paul snaps on Canelo Alvarez about pulling out of the fight to fight Terence Crawford. Most Valuable Jake Paul Promotions put out a press saying that him and Canelo Alvarez was going to be fighting, and Canelo Alvarez turned his back around on him at the last minute. Man, as y'all just heard in the video, Jake Paul went off completely. Y'all stick around, this is something that we're going to be talking about. So Jake Paul was in negotiations with Canelo Alvarez, and Mayweather Promotions CEO Richard Schaefer, they was in negotiation. As you just heard, Jake Paul said that Canelo Alvarez signed he had his signature on the paper, and then no other than Turki Alalshikh came and snatched Canelo Alvarez away from the fight and basically offered him money that he couldn't resist. And Jake Paul basically said that Canelo Alvarez is afraid of fighting him. He fighting somebody that is smaller than him, and Terence Crawford don't want to fight Jake Paul. And I guess Canelo Alvarez said he don't want to fight a YouTuber, so he looking at Jake Paul as a YouTuber, so he don't want to fight Jake Paul. So is Canelo Alvarez really taking that fight with Terence Crawford come May or September? We don't know. We got to wait and see, because it's seeming like it's coming down to Jake Paul not getting that fight with Canelo, and Canelo Alvarez turning his back on that man at the last minute. Like, come on, bro. Like, business is business, but at the same time, man, you got to clean your face. And yeah, that was gonna be Canelo's biggest payday, because Jake Paul and Mike Tyson just did. They just sold out in Texas and broke numbers on Amazon. I mean, on Netflix. So I could just only imagine, man, Jake Paul fans and Canelo Alvarez fans in Mexico, and man, that was gonna do huge numbers. I mean, if it was me, I wouldn't have turned down that fight with Jake Paul. Take that money with Jake Paul and then come back to fight Terence Crawford. I'm pretty sure if Terence Crawford was in your position, he would have took that money first, then came back to fight you. It would have been money you can't resist. I don't see how Canelo Alvarez, just does that. Just up and run and say, hey, I'm gonna just fight over here with Turki Alalshikh, Ring Magazine over in Saudi Arabia, and Canelo Alvarez turning his back on Al Heyman, which is crazy. But I get it, at the end of the day, it's a business move, and Canelo is here to, count checks and stack his bread. And hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. But yeah, you're gonna have a lot of people mad. You're gonna piss a lot of people off. Even if that fight would have got made with Jake Paul, that was gonna piss a lot of people off. Like, why is a real fighter fighting a YouTuber, a fighter that is active? And I know Canelo Alvarez wasn't gonna get paid to knock Jake Paul out. That would have been a huge fight just to see, Jake Paul get in there with Canelo. Man, that would have been brutal. I know Canelo wouldn't have took it easy on that guy, and probably would have let Jake Paul come in at 125 pounds. And I know Canelo Alvarez wasn't going up to no 200 pounds and then coming back down to face Terence Crawford at 168 pounds. That wouldn't have been good on his body. Just like with Roy Jones, like I said in my first video earlier, about Roy Jones going up to heavyweight and fighting John Ruiz, and then coming back down to fight Antonio Tarver. That was a lot of wear and tear, stress on the body. You know, you build fat, build muscle, you gain weight, then you got to lose all that weight to come back down to fight somebody. Nah, man, that wouldn't be good. So yeah, I think Canelo Alvarez did the right thing, and he's still making good money with Turki Alalshikh and Ring Magazine over in Saudi Arabia. So it is what it is at the end of the day. But y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Alright, one love, one life. I'm out. Peace. Breaking news: Turki Alalshikh says he got a 4-fight deal with Canelo Alvarez for Riyadh season. Roll the clip.
Canelo in Riyadh in May, the big fight in the history of boxing. In September, then 2 more fights in 26. Don't miss with the line.
As y'all just heard, Turki Alalshikh come out and say he got a 4-fight deal, and for y'all to not, in other words, poke at the lion. And Canelo Alvarez, he replied, "Let's go, brother." Man, y'all stick around. This is something that we're going to be talking about.
It's showtime!
So, I think it was yesterday that Mayweather Promotions came out and said that they had a fight staged with no other than Jake Paul, and everybody, you know, went crazy. Was like, nah, they don't want to see Canelo Alvarez fight Jake Paul. This is gonna be another Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, and basically Jake Paul gonna pay off Canelo Alvarez not to knock him out, this, that, and the third. And it went from Canelo Alvarez facing Terence Crawford to the fight being on, to the fight being agreed to, then to the fight being off. And then they came out with this Canelo Alvarez versus Jake Paul. Richard Shaffer said there was in negotiations to make the fight happen on Amazon Prime. And I guess the Saudis felt like they wasn't going to lose Canelo to, I guess, PBC and having that fight staged on Amazon Prime. So what they do, they open up the purse and pay Canelo Alvarez what he looking for, that money that he couldn't resist, money that he probably haven't made, you know, in a long time. I don't want to say probably ever. He probably made it. It was just probably within, you know, say 4 or 5 fights or 6 fights, you know. But this amount of money for Canelo Alvarez to go from accepting the fight, he not finna turn that money down. And then on top of that, yet alone, he was supposed to be facing William Skull to get, you know, his belt back to become 2 times undisputed in the same weight class. Then it was talking about him fighting MP, I think his name was MP Lee or something like that. And then he was supposed to be facing Terence Crawford in September. Like, it's all over the place. It's everywhere. You know, saying Canelo Alvarez was going to get paid $75 million. Terence Crawford was going to be making a whopping $50 million. And now that Turki, I guess, put his foot down, opened up the purse, and gave Canelo Alvarez money he can't resist, and saying that Canelo, his first fight and Riyadh season was going to be, you know, over there in Saudi Arabia. But they were saying, you know, I guess the fight in September for Terence Crawford was supposed to be happening at the Raiders Stadium, which here in the US. And now, ESPN and Dan Coppinger, they were saying that Canelo Alvarez is facing Jake Paul, and that Richard Schaefer and Mayweather Promotions and Canelo Alvarez Promotions had came to an agreement to stage a fight with Jake Paul, I guess, to make the biggest fight happen, which I always felt like it's a clown show. Nobody really wanted to see that. But the whole kicker of my thing is, if Terence Crawford was supposed to be fighting Canelo Alvarez in September, and Canelo Alvarez is fighting in May, and Terence Crawford haven't fought since August, when he fought Israel Madrimov of last year, and for him to go up to 168 pounds to face Canelo, and he struggled. To me, I felt like he struggled at 154 against Israel Madrimov, man, and him not take a tune-up fight, say at 160, to just gradually just go all the way up to 168 from 154. I don't want to see that, because I think that'll be another fight like Roy Jones did when he fought Antonio Tarver. So when Roy Jones went up from 168 to fight John Ruiz, and he beat John Ruiz, but he had to gain so much pounds and muscles, and he came back down to fight Antonio Tarver, it didn't do too good on his body. That's the same thing with Terence Crawford jumping up weight classes. He got to put on weight and muscle. Not saying that, the impossible can't happen, because it can happen. He can go up to 168 and beat Canelo, but my thing is, like, take a tune-up fight in between, and don't just sit around and wait. But don't take it at 154. Take it at 160. Then I was hearing that he could be facing Jamal Charlo as a tune-up. Jamal Charlo ain't no fucking tune-up. Even though Charlo haven't been in the ring, his last fight was against Jose Benavidez. That was last year. But listen, Charlo he's been putting in work. Him and Rail, Terence Crawford, don't take that fight with Charlo. Pick on somebody else, because Charlo can upset that card real fast, real easy. And we know there's, even though Big Charlo and Big Charlo and Terence Crawford, they cool with each other, just Jamel Charlo don't like Crawford. I would love to see Crawford get in there with Jamel Charlo. I don't want to say Jamel Charlo he ain't no fucking tune-up neither. But man, it just, everything is everywhere with this. Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford, they were saying that the fight is on, that it could still be on. I mean, even if Canelo Alvarez do fight in May, that's not saying that the fight won't be made in September for Terence Crawford. It's just that Terence Crawford just going up to 168. He just left 147 and didn't really look too good at 154. Man, that won't look good for Terence Crawford. That's just my honest opinion. But for Canelo Alvarez to, take this money, man, why not? If it was me, it's a business move. It's chess, not checkers. And I understand a lot of people may be upset with Canelo saying that he's ducking Crawford. No, it's just a business move. I mean, fighters is not how it used to be in the yesteryears, like say back in the days where the best fight the best, and now, no. Mayweather came in, changed the game. Everything is a business now, because people want to get paid for, their duties, and they pay out whomever they want to pay. Like, as far as, the trainers and the promoters, they all work for them, not the other way around, basically. And if you your own promoter, that revenue comes to you. So yeah, man, that's I don't know, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think. All right, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. One love, one life. I'm out. Peace.